everyone and welcome. I'm Marcie Besecker, an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. Hello and happy Sunday. I hope everyone had a great weekend. We had quite the storm here, so it was nice weather, except all of my yard Christmas ornament things kept falling down. I picked up my snowman and my moose several times, and but they're up and going tonight. So let me just let me just fix my live chat. Hello, everybody. Hi, Linda. How are you? So today we are going to do a really fun card with a new suite, and I absolutely love it. I've started playing with it, so I'm going to show you a little bit of a technique. Not a technique, but how it's used, basically. There's some little tips and tricks to it. So, and that's going to be the second half of the video. The first part will be the card we'll recreate, and then we're going to work a little bit on the next part of that project, or that suite, I guess, and play with it a little bit. So hi Holly, how are you? Welcome. Hi Penny, Eileen, Trudy, Hilda, and Jana. Hello Jana, I hope your project went well if you worked on that today. Hi Barb, hi Gloria. How is everybody? So we went to prom last night. For those of you that watch me regularly know, my husband and I were going to his Christmas party, and it was a prom theme, and so it was a lot of fun. We had everybody was dressed up. There was a lot of tuxes. We had corsages and boutonnieres, and it was a lot of fun. And they even showed pictures of prom pictures. We were guessing who everybody was, so that was a lot of fun. The baking went really well. I don't know who won, but there was a lot of baking goods there, and a lot of people participated. And but it was a lot of fun, and so I was glad I didn't have to take any home. They were all gone, and we had a great time. Yeah, Connie, prom was a lot of fun. We didn't really dance. We kind of noticed that we are the older people now in the group. It's funny because my husband and I both started there, 20, oh my gosh, I think 27 years ago, I want to say. And then I left, he stayed, he's still there at the same place. But we used to be the young people. Of course, it was a much smaller group. We might have had 50 employees, maybe at the most. I don't even think that. I honestly think it was more like 25. But anyway, we had these fun, parties and everything, and there was dancing and everything. But you noticed a lot of the older people would just leave. They were done. As soon as dancing started, it was kind of like all the things were done and they started to leave. The music started and we were like, what is this music? And so we decided to sneak out with all of the other people. But it was a lot of fun. It lasted a long time before music started, so we had a great time. We are also signed up to take swing dancing. So I told my husband for a long time, I have taken some lessons for dancing and ballroom dancing, and my husband, he said, I don't know if I want to do that. Well, his boss, who's retiring, is taking some lessons with his partner, and we know her too. And so they're signing up, and so they asked us if we wanted to sign up, and I said, of course we do. And my husband's like, So we'll see how that goes. That's going to be a lot of fun. Hi, Julie, Gloria, Deborah, Brana, Ardeen. Hello. Hi, Olivia. How are you? Carol, Barbara, Tashana, welcome. So I'm going to jump right into a couple things. First and foremost, Paper Share is the 3rd is the last day to sign up, because I will be getting everything ready to get my order ready and put that in. And you know me, if it's available on the 5th in the morning, early morning, I am staying up late and putting that in on the 4th. So $65, that will get you a quarter of all of the papers in the mini catalog, including the host set. So I will be splitting up the host set among you also. Oh, thank you, Gloria. Hi, Patty. How are you? Hi, Deborah. Hi, Terry. And so it's a great deal. And to see this paper in person, it's amazing. So it'll give you a good idea of all the papers and the textures and everything, and you get to check it all out. And I think there's 10 regular papers, 4 specialty papers, and then the host paper. So I hope you'll take advantage of that. There's a link below for that. Also, January bingo is going to be on the 18th, and that is going to be a lot of fun. Remember, December's bingo has been canceled. We are going to go ahead and skip December and go to January. And January bingo is going to be 4 different projects. And I can tell you right now, I'm going to be using the Country Floral Lane. I've already done that class too. That's coming up. I'll tell you about that in a minute. And the cards are so stinking cute. It's a great set, a suite. I love it. And so I'm also going to do a card in bingo. Rise and Shine, or the Rain and Shine one. The one with the cute little animals. I'm going to get the names straight eventually. Those I'm going to be doing a class in February, and I have one card already that's going to be in bingo also, because I'm working on it, and there's so many cute cards. I had to put one into bingo. And the next one, I think I'm using, oh, I told you already, the two-tone floral one. So I'll be using that one also in bingo. And the fourth one, I don't know for sure yet. So I want to pick something that's not flowers. So we have 2 flowers, well, the hearts kind of, and half flowers. And then the animals, and then another, the twin floral, and then one more that's not going to be floral. We're going to put something else in there. So as soon as I know for sure what everything is, I'll get that listed. So again, in January, our class is going to be the Country Floral Lane class. We are doing 6 projects in January. Okay, there are 6 projects. So sign up for that. It's not going to be until the 26th. I think the cutoff date for that is the 20th. And the reason for that is, oh, let me see if I can give you more details here. Oops, let's see. I have two things here. Let's see. There we go. So there's 3 ways you can purchase this class. One is if you will order the suite through me, then on January 5th, that's when it's available to you to order, at least before the 20th, then make sure you sign up. You can sign up anytime and order the suite through me, and the class will be free for you. If you have the kit already, meaning if not the kit, but the suite, and you are a demonstrator or have a demonstrator, but you still like to take the class, it will be $35 for the class, and you will get all the project kits for the class. The other way is if you would just like to purchase the PDF and the video link, meaning you will not get any kits, and that is only $20. And all of that is available on my blog. And so down below it says January class. That'll take you to the $35 one. If you are a team member, you're going to get it for free. But please, you have to register and then purchase the kit through yourself, not through me. Purchase it through yourself. Okay. Hi, Pam. How are you? Hi, Carrie. Those are the kind of the announcements of things that are coming up. Lots of fun things. I know it's a lot in January, but if you want to spread it out, you can sign up as you go. Just make sure you check out those deadline dates. The paper is definitely a deadline date because I'm ordering the very next day. Bingo, of course, I try to get that date as a deadline so I know how many kits to create. And I usually round it up, to the next 5 or whatever it is, depends. And same with my class. The class will be available after the fact with no kits, but up until the deadline for kits. So I hope that makes sense. I'm going to show you some cards, you guys. I got some really, really cute cards and some great projects. So I just have to show you. So this is from Carol Farmer. What a beautiful card. And great use of that glimmer paper. Look how pretty that card is. And she put the glimmer inside the ornament. Brilliant. and it just really shimmers. It's so pretty. And then she used some red velvet paper for the bow. What a beautiful card. And then on the inside, she stamped, oh, I guess she wrote me a note on paper, but so she stamped a really pretty, the pine needles and the nice sentiment, and with the green and the red. Such a pretty card. Thank you so much, Carol. And I loved she embossed the white paper that she put on top it and put it in the envelope. Smart, and it's so pretty. I got this card from Barb, and she made a beautiful card. This is from the sunflower set. How smart is that? From the sunflower set, and then you can put and I think this is the old sunflower set, I believe. And I love this set, but what a great way to make a wreath out of that. And I love the border, the pretty printed paper. Such a pretty card. Thank you. I don't know how to say your last name, Kim, but thank you so much. Kim and I, Kim is a demonstrator, and I was needing a particular bunch of paper, and she needed, let me think. No, there's two people I've switched with recently with stuff. I think Kim needed actually some paper that I had, and so I sent it to her, and then she sent me some paper back that I needed. So anyway, what a beautiful Christmas card. Look at that. Again, using that evening evergreen glimmer. So pretty. What a beautiful card. Yes, Painted Harvest. Thank you, Barb. That is exactly it. I knew it was one of those that made me think of the sunflower. Okay, then this one is from Gloria Lucero. Again, anything with all of this blingy glitter just makes me so happy. I love glimmer paper. Look how pretty. That is beautiful. Thank you so much. So in my entryway, once I get these cards and show them to you guys, I'll go in when you come through my door on my left side, there's like a den, and it has two glass doors with like window panes in it. And that's where I put all my cards. They all go there. So I have two more. This one is from Hyla, I think it is. This is absolutely beautiful. So this was all packaged in a plastic bag. It's so pretty and so brilliant. Okay, so wait till I show you guys this. All right, so she put it on the inside. She put a little tab, and then she wrote me a note that's embossed afterwards. Very cute. And then look how cute this is. Look at that. Look at all the detail on that. So she put the evening evergreen glimmer in the background, and then she used that bottle set. She did a little snowflake, some holly. I mean, she even stamped. Okay, so look at this. That little wooden, what is that set called? Oh heck, I can't remember. But whatever this wooden thing is here, the wooden, like plank. And then she stamped on the bottle. I mean, so many things. But that's not all. Look at this. So I pulled this out, and it's a cute little gift card holder. So I got a Starbucks gift card. Thank you. I always love that. But look at inside of here. Look how cute this is. Oh, wait. Let me see it. If I can show you. Look how cute that is. And she put some glimmer on that. It's a little tag. Hi, Deborah. How are you? And then another one, and then she put the gold behind that. Look how pretty that is. Now, who would have thought to use this paper for Christmas? Now, look how pretty that is. I mean, she just put the detail on all of this. I just went to see if you could sign up for bingo, and December's is canceled, Pam, but January's is already up. Ooh, look at the back. Look how pretty that is. I mean, she put a lot of detail into this, and absolutely gorgeous. So pretty. So that was beautiful. And then I got a little gift from Anna, and it came, I was so excited to take it out, but it came in this cute little package, and look at what she made me. How cute is that? And it's a pokey tool. So it's a pokey tool like I use my other, like this old pokey tool that's the rubber's all shredding off. And so she made me a Christmassy one. Isn't that cute? So if you guys are interested in these, she sells them. So just let me know, and I'll give you the information for her. But so cute. I'm going to use this tonight. All right, so that was my pretties that I got today. Let me see. I said bingo, paper share, January class. Oh, okay. So a lot of people after my unboxing and also my video of my room, my tour, a lot of people asked me, and then on the last video, I think somebody asked me the difference between my paper holders and which ones do I like and why. So I'm going to let you know. This one has like I'm going to turn this over so you can see down where it's going to be a little easier. So this one has like a clouded, like a frosted look, and it's got a very small, kind of a rounded label. This one, which is my favorite one, is clear, and it's very sturdy, and it has a nice big section for your print. So I could actually put a much larger print on there. I had to run out of these, so I had to use this other one because I pulled them from an old catalog. What I do is I just pull the stickers right back off and put a new sticker on. But these just came in. So my favorite ones, and there's a link to Stampin' storage below, but you get 15 of them, and they're 12 by 12 storage pockets, and they are called paper storage pockets because they also have storage pockets for dies and scraps and paper and stuff like that. So make sure you put 12 by 12 paper storage pockets, and that's where these are at. The other ones, if you look up sleeves, they have a slit on the side. I do not like those. So I like these ones here. So I don't even know that there's a number or anything, but this is what they look like. And so that's the information everybody was asking about. So make sure that they're pockets, okay? Pockets means they're both, it's sewn on both sides, sealed on both sides versus the flap opening. Okay, so that is some information about my favorite. It's definitely Stampin' Storage, and this one is what I used to use until they just came out with these, I think last year. All right, woohoo! Now on to our project. So here is our project, and it was just a lot of fun to play with. I think this Regency suite, I think it's called Regency Park, is the suite, and send me the info, Hilda, for the pokey tools. If you guys can after the video's over, just come back and leave a message below, or even better, message me at Marcie at marciebeseckerdesigns, and I will get that information to you. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so what we did is I wanted to do something with this suite. I love the paper, and so I made a couple of cards. We're gonna recreate this one, but I have some tips and tricks on the next one, which is, there's a two-part. So this is the paper. It's called Regency Park paper, and there's just a bunch of really pretty papers in here that you can, go through and choose. We have Petal Park that comes with a punch, and then we have Sentimental Park that comes with the dies and these beautiful labels. So we used this one first, but I'm going to review some thoughts on this one and show you some tips and tricks of how I worked on that. So let's get busy with this one. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull in some pieces, and I have everything lined. So let's do the inside first. And we're going to just pull in my craft mat that You can tell I just used it with embossing powder, so it's a little dirty. Okay, so let's do this, and we'll just put these together. So I just took a strip off of the bottom of the piece I cut for the cardstock, and we're just going to lay this right on here. Okay, so it's just that, and then I liked the polka dots. We didn't use that blue, so let's do the polka dots. So I'm going to take my thin here. Oh, we just started the card, Katie. We were just talking about some updates and some bingo and paper share and that kind of stuff. And I shared some cards. All right, so let's put this in. So that just kind of ties in all of our prints on the front. Okay, this looks a lot thinner than this does, so I'm going to pull it up and turn it around. If it's not exact, I don't really mind, but I don't want it that big of a difference. So let's turn it this way. That looks much better. All right. Make sure it's flush up against your other paper. All right, so there's our inside. And now let's adhere it. I like to do the inside first just to get it out of the way. I don't want to grab this white piece of paper by accident and start stamping on it or anything. So this is 3 3/4 by 5, and this is 4 by 5 1/4. So sometimes I do it. That's my usual size, but sometimes I'll do this one 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and this one 4 by 5 1/4, just so it gives just a little bit of color around the outside. I just kind of, it just depends. There's no rhyme or reason to it. I just go one or the other. All right. Get that off before I get it all over everything. My husband went up snowboarding today, and he said it was like a blizzard up there. Oh, good, Gloria. I've been hearing a lot of people getting that done. Okay, so you're going to notice that that's going to be on the side because this is going to be a landscape card. And I did it accidentally because, you know, normally I put it across the bottom. But I do this often, and I end up putting it on the left, and I am absolutely okay with that. You still have a lot of room to write, and so it's fine. It makes it look just a little bit different. All right, we're going to take our larger piece here, and that's going to go against the card base. So we can go ahead and put that down now. Let's just double check. And this one, let me see, I wrote this down here. This one is 5 and, let's see, oh, 4 and 1. I don't know why this is so small. It's cut wrong. It's supposed to be 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So let me just fix that before I'm like, why does that look wrong? Okay, so we have 4 1/8. Well, it looks like it is. It's close to it anyway. I guess it's 4 1/8, but it just looks like it's a little off over here. But it's okay. 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So we'll put that on. That was just kind of it looked weird, but now I can tell where I tried to cut it again, and all it did is bend my paper. So that's how close it was. All right, so I just kind of look at it and decide which side do I want to go up and down because it looks pretty much the same. One of the things is a giveaway is if it's like this, look at the leaves. Because your leaves, you know, point upward, not downward most likely. But I'm doing it sideways, so it doesn't really matter. And this is a very close close cut on all the edges. You just want to see a little bit of white all the way around. All right, so now let's take the white. We're going to take the white piece, and what I did is I embossed it. And so I embossed it, and then I did a little bit of brushing of color on it. So let's do that. And what I did is just took this cluster of flowers and I did the outline. So let's just take these. And of course I like to put these on the ground, you know, just put them face down so that they keep their shape, and then I pick them up. So what we're going to do is we are going to bring in just a piece of scratch paper that I had. This one will work. And I'm just going to put this on here. All right, we're just going to put a little bit. We're going to get out Versamark. And you want to kind of do it fast, because when you stamp with Versamark, for me anyway, I can see the clear image. And so it's easy for me to continue with my stamping so I don't overlap each other. Ignore my poor pad. I did buy a new one, but this one still works just fine. It's just, I've got a lot of glitter and embossing powder on it, but it still works. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of come down, and I do go off the corner just a little bit, and I can see my image, and I'm just going to kind of come across here, and then over here I'm just going to kind of go up in the corner. So just to give it a little bit of some texture on both sides there. And now we're just going to bring this in. And I have my white here. These are just little seasoning containers from Amazon. There's a package of 4 on like a little tray that I just keep them on. So we're just going to tap that off. So see just a little bit in the corner. Oh, it's really hard to see. There we go. And now we're going to go to this side. All right. So everything looks okay. And then I just kind of, you know, clean it up a little bit if there's any. There we go. And now we'll just heat this up really quick. I like to move my heat tool around a little bit. I don't like to just leave it on one spot. I'll come back. I've burnt my paper too many times by thinking I'll just let it sit here while I'm looking or reading comments or something, and then it burns, so I try not to do that. Alright, so it's starting to melt. You can probably see a little bit. I'm trying to hold it at an angle so you can see, but white is really hard to see. There we go. So that's all shiny. And now it's heating pretty quickly. It was funny, my husband picked up his tux last night. He didn't even look, or day before yesterday, and he didn't even look at it. And last night, he gets ready to go put it on, and they gave him like this lime green and olive colored handkerchief for his pocket. And I think you can fold it either way and use it for, you know, these 2 different colors of tuxes. And ours was like a hunter green. It looked It was not good. So my husband was very smart. He said, wait, you trimmed the bottom of your dress. Where's this? My seamstress always gives it back to us. And she gave it to me, and he used that in his handkerchief, as his little handkerchief. And so we matched really good. All right, so I took that old, let's see, I took the Night of Navy, and I did use Balmy Blue at first, and it just didn't show up very well. So I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to use my scrap here. And I took my Night of Navy with my blending tool, and make sure you just kind of go off a little bit first. Okay, and then because you don't want to start on the edge will be a little bit dark, but let me show you what I did do. This piece here is a 5 by 3 3/4, but see, this one's going to be a tiny bit smaller, so you're just going to have a little bit of an edge. So this one is going to be, your white is going to be 4 7/8 by 3 5/8. Okay, so you don't want to come too close off the edge, because then your edges will get really dark. So what you can do is leave this a little bigger and then have room to trim it down a little bit. So keep that in mind. But what I'm going to do is just kind of go off there and then just start right on the page, but light. Okay, I'm just going to lightly, and I don't mind going up to going close off the page. I just don't want to start coming on. All right, so as long as there's a lot of embossing, see how it's kind of got dark right there? And we can trim that off. It's light enough that it's going to be okay. And I'm not going to re-ink, so I can start in the middle. And then I'm going to show you how I fix that edge. If it bothers you. It has a lighter piece behind it. So normally I leave this longer, and I thought I did, but apparently I didn't. So I'll show you what I do. All right, so just enough, just to give it a little bit of color. You don't need a whole lot. So whatever works for you, and you can add, or, you know, there's some flowers that come over here. I'm going to come over a little bit more. And remember, you have a lot of color on here. It wipes off, but if you're rubbing it, it's going to kind of come off. All right, so there's that. And then what I'm going to do is take a tissue. I like to take a tissue here and just wipe it so those white flowers kind of poke through a little, get that ink off of the embossed part, just so you can see it a little bit better. So there you go. And it's just a light background. Instead of embossing or using an embossing folder or something, it's just, you know, adds a little bit. So what I do, because if it was on a darker piece in the background, I wouldn't mind, but I don't like it against that. So I'm going to take my trimmer in, and I'm just going to like take the littlest sliver off. Like, I don't even know if I got enough. Yep, I got it off. You can't see it now, but this is how much I took off. Okay, so it's just a sliver, just to take that blue off, because it's a little too dark for me. Now normally, like I said, I normally keep it a little bigger so I can trim it down, but not a lot, because I don't want to trim all my flowers off. All right, look at this is like how thin that was. So just enough. All right, now what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and we can adhere that to here. I like to adhere my panels as I go if I can. Like, we're not going to do anything with this one for a little bit. So, and we're not going to adhere it to our card base yet, but we can go ahead and adhere it to this, because our ribbon's going to go around both. All right, so let's go ahead and put that on here. And that tiny bit we took off, you can't even tell. So there we go. So we'll set that aside. Now we're going to bring in some pieces here. So what I did is I took this label, and that is what I did this yellow polka dot with right here. Okay, so we're going to cut one of those out. And then this label right here goes right inside there. It fits inside, and that's what the white is. So those two go together. So we'll put that right here. Or we'll put that over here. I have the white one cut. I didn't cut this one, so I will cut it. And I chose to just pull out the polka dot paper because it was just so pretty. And I wanted to do that. Then I decided, after I did that, if you look on this piece right here, so I did it like this, you have different flowers, and I'll show you right after I cut this out. So let me cut this out really quickly, and then you'll kind of see what flowers you need. Because this has polka dots, of course, I want to try and get it straight so my polka dots are straight, even though you don't see a lot of it anyway. Okay, so here we go. So there's our piece right here. And wait until I show you what I realized once there's a lot of little pieces on your plate when you cut that out. So when I cut this out, I noticed that there's a slit right here. See, there's a slit on both sides. So what I did is, here's my white piece, and it tucks right under. So you could have all of your flowers showing on the top. Look how cute that is. Hi Becky, how are you? Thank you for sharing. I appreciate your guys' thumbs up. Thank you so much. So look at this. So once we get it around, and I'll show you what to do, you want to kind of wiggle it around and get it into the place. But let's pull this aside first, and let's stamp our image right here. And I did it on the Stamparatus. So I stamped it here first. So this is what how I tested it to see if it was straight. Cut yourself out your piece and hold this onto this. Get a piece of paper underneath it. Put your image right on top, just so you can make sure it's straight. And then, oh, I'm like, where did my other magnet go? And then we're going to take out our sentiment, which I chose thinking of you. Because, you know, there's a lot of times you want to just send a quick little thinking of you if they're not feeling well or they had a bad day or whatever. And it seems like I have a lot of birthdays and then I don't have a lot of thinking of you. So I decided to do that. So think about where those flowers are. So when you put this on here, you kind of don't want to go too close to the left or right. So this one's going to be kind of in the middle. So I'm going to do, and I'm going to try not to stick my head in here, but I got to pull it in. All right, so just put that there, and then let's do you. Okay, so I did it kind of underneath, but I don't want to do it too close to the bottom. All right, so just kind of. All right, so I'm going to close it, and then I like to hold it up and kind of look at that. It didn't close all the way. Let's try that again. All right, thinking of, I got to think of all those flowers are over there. Thinking of you. All right, so now let's hold it up. And I think that's okay. It might be a little down, but I'm all right with that. Let me see. Yeah, I think that's okay. So we're going to do that in Night of Navy. So let's do it one time. And I like it to be nice and bold, so I'm going to do it another time. And that's good. Okay, so we're good with that. Oh, you guys, look at that. This wasn't even my thing. So now that I know that I'm looking at it and it looks right where I want it to go, now I'm going to put this in here. Whew. I was thinking that it was already in there. All right, so we're going to put this in here, right inside where it needs to go. I'm going to put this where the flowers are, so it will stamp. So let's just test it. Yep, that's good. All right, now we're going to stamp it. I just want to make sure that it's going to look good and nice and even and everything. So I didn't have to stamp it again because that was our test, right? And then I always lift it up carefully. Sometimes when I put a magnet right there, it gets a little, because I've got washi tape there too, and sometimes it gets kind of stuck. So this looks really good to me. So we'll take this part out, and then that is our sticker, our label. All right. Okay, so we don't need that anymore. I'm just going to put these back because you know what happens if you don't. Oops. I really try hard to put stuff back when as soon as I'm done with it, because I will find it stuck to the bottom of my trimmer. Hi Lisa, how are you? Hi Penny. I was wondering how the white piece fit under the flowers. Oh yeah, so I'll show you right now. So we're going to take this and I'm going to poke out all the little chads, the part we don't need in there, because you know me, I don't like to leave those in there. Even though we're covering up a part of them, I like to have them all out. Okay. So what I decided to do is I wanted the longer piece on the top and the cluster on the bottom. So we are going to take this. I do not put glue on this first because I need to get it to move around a little bit. So we're going to put that in here, lift that up, and then we're going to lift this part up over here. Now remember, this is DSP, so you got to be super careful. It's a little more it's a little more delicate than cardstock, right? All right, now I'm just kind of moving it around. There's that little circle there that lifts up, so that kind of stops the paper from going where I want it. So just kind of make sure you lift that up. And then I get it to where, let me show you her. There we go. So then I get it to where the outline looks like it's lining up. Okay, so I need to hold it up so I can see. Okay, so I can tell that this can come up a little bit and this can go down. So I'm going to just scooch it just a tiny bit, and then I'm going to scooch that one up a little bit, and I think that looks fine. So what I do is I lay it down where I want it, and that looks good. And then I'm going to take my pokey tool and grab yourself a glue dot, and then I'm going to hold it here and then lift it here, and then I'm just going to take this in straight in and leave my glue dot right there. All you need is a couple glue dots. It's not going to go anywhere. So again, I get a glue dot and I try to make sure it's flat. So pick it up, you know, if you pick it up quickly, it kind of comes up just flat and doesn't get all curled up. Now I'm going to hold over here, even though it's already glue dotted down, and then I'm going to slide this one in. And it doesn't have to be exactly in the center or anything, but now that's not going to go anywhere. Okay, so that is good to go. Now, let me bring this one back in for you. So now we have this, and I wanted to kind of decorate it up. So let's put this here because we're going to use some adhesive. And I cut out a bunch of flowers and different things. I cut out our 3 large ones, which we're going to, oh, that's my next project. Don't look. No sneak peeks. I'm like, wait, there's no large one. But I did cut out all my little ones. Look at, I put it in my little safety Post-it note here. So I just took my Post-it note over on the corner and made myself a little funnel-y thing here so I could do all these. You don't want to see me cut all these out, but I'll tell you what I did. All right, so what I did is I kind of counted up what I had and kind of laid things down. So on this die, you're going to see, okay, I think this one goes here and this one goes here. You are going to see we have these larger flowers here. These are the solid flowers, so that's what these are. So like this one and the smaller ones. Then we have these flowers, and that's what all of these little white ones are, except this one. This one is the same as this one here because I wanted to layer my big flowers so that they just have that much more interest, right? So I cut all those out for you. And so what we'll do is bring in our glue dots or glue, whatever works for you. But the first thing you want to do is you want to take something, your pokey tool, your scoreboard tool, your nails, whatever you use. And I just like to, you know, put a little indentation in my flowers, just so that they're not so flat. They add just a little bit of character. So just take them all and just, you only need one good firm push on them. Even the white ones if you want to. I laid those down flat, but we really don't have to, so we're not going to on this one. All right, so to every flower, just push it in. And if you're doing a huge project, please use your oh, the name just escaped me. Your piercing mat, because your hand will get bruised. So funny. I've been talking about a piercing mat this whole last couple of weeks with somebody, and all of a sudden the name just ran away. All right, so here we go. Almost done. We're just going to add those. And we're going to change the bow up a little bit on this one too. I feel like that bow is really big, although it doesn't matter how big this bow is, that knot's going to be the same, so it still is pretty flat. It's not a big deal, but I think I'm going to change it just a little bit. All right, so now let's do this. This has some color underneath it, so I'm going to go ahead and just put some glue right there, and we're going to take the blue one and pop it right on there. We're going to take the light blue and go right next to it. I just kind of interchanged the colors. This one does not have any card base behind it or anything, so we're going to use a glue dot for that one. And that's another large one. It's a blue, the Night of Navy. And so let's take that and put it there. It doesn't have to match up with the flowers exactly. So then I like to take my pokey tool and just kind of make sure they're like firmly in there. All right, and then we're going to do a little blue one. So we need one of these, and just center it as closely as you can on your glue dot so it will cover it up. And we're going to put this little guy like right here. All right, same thing over here. We're going to have to use glue dots because there's nothing behind it right now. So let's use blue. So we have Balmy Blue, we have Night of Navy, we have a little Night of Navy, which that one could have been glue, but that's okay. We'll use a glue dot, and we'll use this one. All right, so we're going to take the Night of Navy and put it there. The Balmy Blue. So instead of just leaving these yellow polka dot, which is still nice, and I love seeing the polka dots around the edge, it just adds, you know, a little bit more. I wanted to just kind of tie in all the colors And so what I did is I went and I looked at this paper and I was like, okay, now what am I going to do? And I wanted to use these fancy dies just to see because they're so pretty. And then that's kind of how I started. I thought, well, if I do the yellow background, I could do all the blues and the flowers. All right, so let's add a little bit. Now you're going to notice that these do match up, the white ones. And so I try to match them up as much as I can. This one's going to go right here, so I'm just going to turn it a little bit. And I just kind of dot it. I'm just going to kind of go around the middle. I'm not going to go all the way around. So if you want to use your tweezers, you can. And I'm just going to go right to the circle. And like I said, I'm not concerned if it's exactly right, but I do want it to kind of line up on the round part. Okay, so you can tell I have glue that went through. That's fine. So you're going to have it line up exactly if you want, but it doesn't have to. I don't think it has to. It's up to you. So I just want that circle in the middle to be close. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is, you know what, while we're here, let's do this. We're going to put a little dot in the middle of each of these, okay, the larger flowers. And I am going to use my tweezers. And so let's take these solid flowers and we're just going to put those right in the middle. And I like offset them so it's not, your petal is not poking inside your petal. And just just kind of offset the petals. That's what I like to do. Okay, and again, I like to just make sure they're there. Not going to sneak off and go anywhere. Okay, and we have two more. So I just did ran all those flowers in through a few times. And then I kept playing with them and moving them around and kind of deciding what I wanted where. That's how I got this little dish of flowers. Okay, so now we're going to just finish up. Here's the large one again. Again, I'm just going to go around the inside. Might as well use these. And just kind of look where your flower goes. I think this goes like this one. And I want it to go underneath my blue flower, not over it. So we'll just put that there. Okay, and now we have our little ones. And the little ones are even more so, as long as they've got glue on them and they stick, they don't have to be lined up right. I just want the circle to be lined up in the middle so their placement is correct. See how cute it is coming together? And when you add the rhinestones, oh my goodness. All right, so there we go in the circle. All right, there's that side. All right. Two more to go. I can't wait to show you guys the next stamp set. It was really fun to work with. This is a great set. It's even better than I thought it was. So if you already have your catalog and you're looking at it, it's really a great set. Those labels alone are fantastic. All right. What show is everybody watching? I just started watching my Firefly Lane. I'm behind. They just came out with a new season, so second season, I think. Okay, so there we go. So now that's done, and we'll add our rhinestones in a bit. So let's pop back over to this piece right here, and we're going to add a bow. And so my first thought was I did such a large bow on this one, and I like it because it's a big corner, but I kind of want to see those flowers a little bit. So my first thought was we're going to pop this up on here. And what if I just did a little bow right there? Do you guys like the smaller bow better? And should I put a blue bow going across the back like I did on here? Because I kind of feel like I'm not seeing those flowers. So it would look like this. It'll be popped up, of course. And it kind of cleans it up a little bit. Although I love the ribbon. The ribbon is so pretty. What do you guys think? Smaller bow or go with the bigger bow? Thank you, Debbie. I appreciate that. And then we could always put this in the back and still put our little bow. What do you guys think? What is your preference? Let me know. Small bow, smaller bow. Good, you guys agree. That's what I'm thinking too. Should I put this in the background still or leave it without? See, you guys are on the same wavelength. Once I did this, I didn't want to take it all off because it is not just glued on. I tied it and then put it on. And then I thought, oh, that is just way too big. So I may deconstruct this now that the video is over. So blue in the background or not? Yes to blue in the background, Rosemary, with the ribbon, small with ribbon. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. I'm good with that. I just think the smaller bow looks better. All right, so I'm going to think about where this is going to go. Right about here. The bow's going to go there, so right about here. So I like to put a little line so I know where I'm going. I'm going to bring back in my mat here. Oh, see? 3 3/4 by 5. Okay, so let's just put our adhesive right there. And we are going to put our bow right here. Both sides look the same. I don't think there's a good and a bad side to this bow. It's so pretty. Look how this is. So it's kind of, it's not necessarily see-through like the weave in color one is, but it's definitely has that same look, but you can see through it up close, but it's hard to see through it. So it doesn't really look like you can see through it. All right, we're going to go right about there. So let's do one side. And then what I like to do is we're going to put this right on here even. I'm going to put this on that second line right there. I can see the grid line. And then I'm going to go right here. It's just up from that one bow. Okay, so we're going to, hello. Well, now I'm going to eyeball it because it moved on me, but that's okay. We will make it work. Okay, so there we go. Now, what I like to do is add a little bit of adhesive on here, even though we're going to use dimensionals. I just want to make sure that that's not going to go anywhere. All right, now let's go ahead and add this. Yeah, this ribbon is beautiful. I love it. I like the bigger one also, maybe just, but yeah, it does need to be smaller. Yeah, if you wanted to fill it up and make it a larger bow right there, you absolutely could. I just think this one's a little too large. Once it was over, I was like, ooh, that is a big bow. All right, so let's move that out of the way and bring this in. Let's make sure we're opening the right way. Put it right about there. All right, we're going to take dimensionals on this. So I did one in the middle 2 on the edges here. And then I brought in my mini dimensionals because, as soon as I can reach them, because there is a spot right on your flowers that you can make them fit right here. So that fits there. And then this one right here. And that's where you put your glue dots in with your flowers. Oops. There we go. All right. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and put this on here. We're going to put this one. And now we can put this a little more in the middle, because this one, this bow was so big over here, I put this on first, so our sentiment had to shift to the right just a little bit. Oh, Barb, I'm glad you got it. Yeah, the bow making thing it's great once you get it. All right, so, oh, I was like, oh no, where did our bow go? And I'm going to put this close to the edge. Of course, we want it off the U, but we want it to look like it's a part of that. So we're going to just get our glue dots here. I appreciate your guys' thumbs up. Thank you so much. It really does help my channel a lot. All right, we're just going to angle that right there. And now we need to put our, where did my rhinestones go? Right here. So now we're just going to put those on, and I used all the little ones, and you're going to use them just inside the larger flowers. Oh no, we did all of the solid flowers is what we did. All of the solid ones. So there's one. This one. That one. Okay, there's 4 over there. And there's 4 over here. So I know that's 8, but there's still extra flowers that just don't have the embellishment. So I thought that was fine. And technically you could put them on the larger ones if you wanted. But look how cute that is. All right. So there's our card. There are the 2 different ones. And, oh yeah, I like the smaller one much better. I will be taking this one off. Let's see. Because I started it here and then I went around and I came back. And then, you know how I pull it through, and I did that. So I will cut that off and glue the bottom down, and then I'll put a smaller bow right on top of that. So anyway, there is our first card. Oh, good, Debbie. Thanks, Jana. Oh, you guys are funny. Yeah, the bows take a bit of time, but once you get them, much easier. Okay, so now I want to show you a card that I did with the other part. And I'm not going to redo the whole card. I just want to show you some tips and tricks about this stamp set. So my other card is buried. Let me find it. Is this card. So I did this one today. And so I kind of played with this stamp set and how it worked. Again, here I am showing you with the paper. I chose a paper out of the stamp set, and I went ahead, and the other reverse side is this one. So I just, you know, layered it up again, and then I worked on this part right here, and I went ahead and double layered this with the 2 colors so that it just kind of, you know, pops, and it really gives it that nice weight of a card. Those are my measurements inside. So I really liked this stamp set. So I'm going to show you, and I did not use my Stamparatus with this. Let me find my thing here so you know how that goes. I got to put it away. Okay, so let me show you this stamp set. And I did put everything on blocks already, so it'll be easy for me to show you. So what I did is I'm going to have a piece of paper, and the first one I brought in was the outline. I always tend to do the outline first because it's darker and it's easier to see. Okay, so I took that and I did the shaded spruce because that's the color in the paper. And it's a large stamp set, so I take the ink to the stamp set, of course. All right, so then I'm going to just stamp this. Okay, now a lot of times it's easy. Let me move these other cards out. When you take your stamp set and you look at how it's positioned. Okay, so this one is positioned like, well, it's kind of like that, but you get the idea. Because when you bring in your other sets, you're going to notice that they're all positioned the same way. So when you're thinking, oh no, how do the flowers go on? You're going to look at it and realize that, oh, they're going to go just like this. And I'll show you that in just a second. We're going to take this in. I'm going to take my scratch piece of paper here, and I'm just going to put this right here. All right, so again, it's a lot lighter. If you look at the paper, it's a lot lighter on the inside than the outside is. So what I did is I inked this up and I stamped off, and then I came over and I just kind of went right above it. Hopefully my head's not in the way, but I went right above it till I thought it looked good and go down. Now, that being said, what I did is I stamped the first stamp first. See how pretty that is? I stamped the first one, but then because this has such a thin spot in the middle, you're going to have to take this off before you put it on. Let me show you. You want to be careful when you pull this one off because of that thin spot in the middle. You don't want to rip it. But see how it can really move around. So make sure you lay it on there and you get your stamp right where you want to put it so that it aligns with the one that you have down already. Then take your block and pick it up. Okay, that's going to help you go right back down in the correct spot. All right, the other thing that you could do ahead of time is take your punch, because this one has a punch to the flowers, and punch it first and make sure those align up. I did not have any trouble with the flowers because I did that after the fact, but it aligned up fine once I aligned up my second stamp here. So then what I did is I'm going to take my outline flowers, and what I did is I did them in mango, but if you look closely, they're in petal pink, and the centers are in the mango. But I wanted it to show up with the mango. I didn't want petal pink, and I wasn't putting mango in the middle, so I just kind of changed my colors a little bit. So I went with mango next. You guys can tell I still have a cold. I don't know if I'm ever going to get rid of this. All right. So let's do our mango. And then this is where I looked at the, let me back out a little bit. This is where I looked at the flowers on here, because I was like, okay, this goes like this, but how do you do the flowers in here? Because there's, you know, you're doing this and you're like, okay, wait. But the large one goes in here, and right inside that leaf there is where that leaf is going to go, but at a down angle, okay? Because you want your other two to go up and not go over the green. So let's do this. And now you're going to take your flowers and just, you kind of want this close. You want these kind of close, but you definitely want your leaf in there and your little leaf right there to kind of be there. So just kind of angle it right in there and then lift it up. It does not have to, you know, touch anything. It's just a cluster of flowers, so it's not that big of a deal if it's not exact, but you want to get it semi-close. Now we're going to move to the Petal Pink. And I did it once and I should have saved it. I'm looking in my trash. Hold on. But it was way too dark. Oh, I don't know where it went, but maybe I didn't throw it away. Well, it was really dark and it looked terrible. So I did it again. So this is, I mean, it would look really dark like that if you did it straight with the Petal Pink. So I stamped off and then I came in and got to where I wanted. Get your flowers where you want them. And then stamp. And then I thought that looked really, really light. Oh, you guys, look, I had ink. Oh, well, that's okay. I had green on my, because I stamped on this. Oh, let me wipe it off. I stamped on the green, and so it picked up green, but that's okay. You guys get what I'm saying. So then go down, stamp off again, and then come back on. And then it was a little darker, and it gave me a little more color of what I wanted than just that was super dark and one time was a little bit light. So I did it twice. And then what I did is I stamped it, and then that's where these extra flowers came from. And then I popped them up. So these 3 are popped up. Okay, so I stamped it underneath and then I popped them up on top. So you can still see flowers underneath, but you have them up on top too. Okay, and then I used the adhesive backed milky dots, and that comes with this suite. So I wanted to put the blue on there, but I wanted the lighter color in the middle of the flowers. So I hope that helped you guys just a little bit about this suite, because you get in this suite, you get your Petal Park with the punch, and you get these beautiful dies with this gorgeous sentiment set. And then these were the cards that were created from this. So I hope you guys liked the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. Thank you so much for a thumbs up. I appreciate it. If you are interested in one of these, I have no affiliate. It's just a friend of mine, and she said yes, she would be willing to sell them if anybody wants to buy them. And so they're really great, pretty fun little pokey tools. So you can, message me below on this video, or message me at marcie@marciebeseckerdesigns, and I'll get you her information. So, all right, everybody, thank you. Don't forget about the paper share. That's most important by the 3rd, so that I can get your order in with my order. I will be ordering on the night of the 4th. We're able to purchase on the 5th, and I'm in California, so my late night is the 5th for them, if we're able to purchase at midnight like normal. And then, of course, I have January bingo. Don't forget, December's bingo is canceled, but January's bingo is ready to go. And I will be posting probably by tomorrow night all 4 suites that or stamp sets that we'll be using for bingo. Don't forget, in January also, this class is all ready to go, and it is such a cute class. It is going to be so much fun. There's some sneak peeks right there. It is going to be a fantastic class. There's some fancy folds in there. There's a 3D item in there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Oh, you are so welcome. Good night, everybody. Thank you, and I will see you. I'm like, will I see you? Yes, I will be here on Wednesday. Have a great week, and let's look for something new on a Wednesday again. Bye, everybody. Have a good night.